Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Harmony. I am a twin flame expert helping twin flames around the globe face fears, find freedom, and glow forward on fire. Welcome to today's weekly Glow Show, and today's topic we are going to be talking about elevating your love vibration. And this is going to be a three-part series that I'm being shown to share in honor and in light of the Lionsgate here at 2017. And we have the Lionsgate coming up in the portal in just under a week now. And this is, I'm being shown, I mean, I've mentioned it before, but this portal is the portal of embracing and having faced our fears, let go of the things that are blocking us from moving forward in love, and for us to now be able to go forward and love without the fear, and so being free to love, basically. So that's what this series is about, is being free to love. And as I mentioned, it's about elevating your love vibration. It's about being able to in part one today is going to be able to have a better understanding of eternal love and understanding what that eternal love means, and being able to, our goal is to bring that into form. So that's going to be more about what part two is about, is being able to, learn how to bring it into form, how to experience that unconditional love or that eternal love. And then by coming up with some ways in order to face fears and to realize that, we're collapsing the mind here during this portal and of this Lionsgate, and we are expanding the heart chakra. So we're retemplating to speak a new love language, basically. And I was shown to take you back to some of the beginning of where, Cupid started, and some tips for you to reprogram this new template in a way of loving your life and experience love, and especially with our twin flame dynamics, our highest beloved partnership. In part three, it is about us living in the vortex, or I should say living in the light of living in the light of love. That's what I meant to say. Living in the light of love is part three, and that is really being in the vortex and loving our experience and everything showing up, and us being in the space of bringing our 5D awareness into 3D thought. And that one I can't wait to share with you, because I'm going to take you on a field trip. And I won't even tell you the details about it, but you will not want to miss it. I can promise you that. It's going to be so phenomenal. And I'm going to be doing in that part three a Fountain of Love ceremony. So you won't want to miss it. So please get plugged into this three-part series. I want to thank everyone that participated, and that was in the 5-part series of Return to Oneness, and those 5 different parts. And if you're plugging into this one and you haven't got into the 5-part series, Return to Oneness, I really highly recommend you do so, because it's phenomenal. I got phenomenal feedback from that. And I want to thank everybody for their contribution, as far as the gratitude that people received from it, the magnitude of impacts that it made on others, which was the goal of that. And that is the part that 5-part series was really setting us up to being able to return to oneness with the union of self, so that we can then connect to the reunion of our beloved. And this is going to be a little bit more in-depth version of the love part of that series. So being able to, like I said, be able to share and shed some light on what is eternal love. What does that really mean? And so I want to share with you how it was described to me, and taking a look back in time at what the breakdown of love and the depths of love that we have for all, and how we should have this with our beloved in all areas of this as well. So first of all, Eternal love is a vitamin B12 shot for our soul. It seeks it, it needs it, it longs for it, and until it gets it, it is depleted, and it is a feeling of the fatigue and a feeling of can't go on at some point. Now, we're not talking codependency here. We're talking about going home. We're talking about arriving into the state of being in the vortex of what we're coming here to claim, and claim it with boldness, and do it with clarity, and do it with confidence, to where we can no longer have the doubts, because we know that we're in the vortex and glowing forward on fire. So we know we can expect the nature of the eternal unconditional love to align with us and in our highest state of being and with our highest divine partner, and to experience that depth and that magnitude of that love. So now I want to share with you where I kind of got this from. When I was diagnosed with uterine cancer, I was really scared of being a physician and connecting with other physicians. I knew I needed to connect and bring my spirituality with me into that, walking that journey. And I asked my guides and angels to place me where I needed to be, that I could be me and bring my divine counsel with me, basically, to make decisions and to have somebody that understood me and that I could be fully open with. And it happened. So my oncologist is Greek, and when I was going in with the mind, asking 100 questions, and he patted me on the leg and he said, "Darling," he's Greek, so I wish I could say some of these words with his language, because it's so beautiful hearing him talk. I said, I just want to put him in my pocket. I want to take him out to lunch. I just want to sit down and just listen to him speak, because he's so, he's an older man, and he has so much wisdom. He's taught me so much from the medical side of, merging medicine with spirituality. He talks about this stuff. We have these conversations when I go, and he's read my book, Twin Flame Code Breaker. And there's one thing I want to tell you about that is the divine plan. It was a match made in heaven. There is no way I could have aligned with such a surgeon and an oncologist like this, without there being a plan upstairs. I mean, naturally, I had to ask for it. So the other piece I will say to this, when we're asking and we believe and we show up, love, even, this man, we have love conversations. He talks about love all the time. He believes in love, and love is the healing, will heal all. And, that's where I got this concept of this Greek terminology of the love and the love language and the love vibration. And that's why I want to take you to that series. And what I was going to say, though, is he patted me on the leg and he said, "Sweetheart, haven't you ever heard of Eckhart Tolle and the power of living in the now?" And as soon as he said that, there was music to my ears, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm in the right place at the right time, and I have my man, and oh my gosh, I love this man. And for a physician, you can tell he's got lipstick and he's got makeup all over his white coat, because he gives a lot of hugs. And, to see that in the medicine world, having been in, kind of the medical field for over 20 years, is just amazing. So, okay. So what I want to say is he's always talking to me about the types of love, and about, in the Greek mythology, and how in these different types of love, we need to experience all of them to be complete and to be whole. That is wholeness, is experiencing all of these. And there's 6 different types of love that the Greek mythology talks about. And so I want to share this with you today. And then one of the things I want to say is that this love that we're talking about here is also the kind of love that we need to have in a twin flame union, and to share within ourselves and within our beloved. And so that's why I thought this was so appropriate to as part of an understanding of what is eternal love. Because what I'm about to describe to you with this Greek mythology and these 6 types of love is, when you package them all in, they are all together create eternal love, which does become the B12 shot to our soul when we can experience all of that as a whole unit. And this is the kind of love we need to strive to come into the union, or returning to oneness and love. You know, that's kind of another piece of this, just in the love aspect. So, all right, so now, I'm not good with, you know, I don't speak Greek and I don't have the accent he does, which I wish I did, but I want to share with you the best I can what that means, okay? So give me 1 second, because I want to kind of like bring them into, you know, share that with you. So, okay, so Eros love is about passion, and it is about the sexuality, and it's about connecting to the desire of the desired type love. That is what most people feel when they feel like the chemistry, like the chemical attraction to love. And then we have the philia love. I believe it's philia love. That is like a friendship type love. That is the brotherly love. That is the love that we have with, when the Greeks came up with this, they referred it to like the going off to war and the armor, shielding with armor of the brotherhood, basically in that brotherhood, and taking that forward, knowing that, you know, we are doing this as a team kind of thing, like the team type love, and we're the power of a team together can go forward and conquer, you know. That's the philia type love. And then we have the agape love, and the agape love is that unconditional love. That is the part that we put our selfless desires behind us, and we reach out to others. And that's where it's like, how may I serve? You know, how may I become a service for others, and put, you know, my wants, needs, desires. And this is where it comes also from the unconditional love vibration with like twin flames, is being able to do this in a place of putting our own needs to the side, as far as feeling like we want to fill ourselves up with the codependency of that other person, and to give them the space, allow them to work on themselves. Let go of them, surrender them. Don't make them responsible for you. That's the agape type love, and also an agape love. That is also a standpoint of it's also in a group type setting, kind of like the brotherly love. But this is where we can pull in like this global collective love, and be able to anchor that love, and to bring that love into form, and become the anatomy of God, and become the expression of God, and put that into form, and to let our light shine, and to share the shine, and share the love. So that is the agape love. And then we have the ludus love, which is like playful. It's like childlike. It's like the romance that we have for when we get into a new relationship, and we start, like, say if you start dating for the first time, or you know, you have your initial interactions, you know, that is the kind of love. And it's like the Cupid kind of love, and the Cupid bow and arrow, which I'm going to share in a minute, like some living of the light of love, and 12 arrows of light that I came up with based on, and I'll share with you in a minute. But anyway, so we have the pragma love, which is that is where long-time love, like long-standing love, like long-term love, like being married for a long time, and the newness has worn off, and we no longer have our need for when we need to keep the playful love and keep the spark alive. We need to learn how to do that because not enough people do that. But we need to be able to like know that this is for life. We need to be, this is creating a commitment, saying I made a commitment to this love and I'm in it for the long haul. I'm in it for sickness and health. I'm in it to death do us part kind of love. And that is what the base is also as the twin flames is eternal. You know, the eternal connection, the eternal love that you're here for. And so what I want to say about that is, you know, you signed up for this journey to be in alignment with this twin flame journey and to align with your beloved or your twin flame of this lifetime. And, you know, whatever it is you signed up for, you signed up for it. And so rather than running from it, doubting it, bashing it, seeing the bad in it, see the beauty in this whole experience and realize that you are in it for the long haul, that you signed up. So everything you need for the journey's here. Everything that you need to get through the journey is here. And your reward is coming, and that you can hold space for that unconditional love vibration. And that you can hold space for your partner, and that you can help them transmute, because this is death till death do you part. And, you know, when you get to the finish line and you look around and say this journey, and not that there really is one, but think of it in those terms. I mean, are you going to wait? You know, let's just say you're in a race, you know, and you're running a marathon and you did it with a partner. Are you going to get to the end of that marathon, and are you going to then like go home? Or are you going to wait and watch your partner cross the finish line? This is the kind of love that it takes to watch your partner cross the finish line and to do it with enthusiasm and cheer them on. And can you imagine how they will feel about that when they see that, you know, they might have lagged behind, they might have fell down, they might have got exhausted and had heat exhaustion and had to go off to the side of the trail and be sick and get sick. And, you know, but then they kept going and they got up and they dusted themselves off, and you might have just wailed right through it. But to know that they have somebody at the finish line waiting on them to get in alignment with and to share that with, like, this is the depths of love. Who else can you end up with than the partner you're supposed to be going through this journey with, and to get to the end of that and have the same kind of connection or the same kind of feeling or the same kind of love, because you did this together. You did it together. So be at the finish line. And that's off track, but it needed to be, apparently. Because that is, I said, the pragma love. That is the long-standing love. That is what it takes to finish this twin flame journey strong. Now we have the, I don't know if I can say this right. I love it whenever my oncologist says this word. Felicia. I think that's Felicia. This is the self-love. This is the love we have for self. There's two types. You know, we have the type that is the ego-based. We have the type that says, I'm going to be obsessed with self. And that it is the self-desires, and that's all that matters. And we're going to be a little stubborn. And there's a difference in a loving boundary and being assertive and stepping into your own empowerment. There is a difference here that I'm talking. So don't think it's giving up your empowerment to do this, because it's not. But then we have the second kind of, that is the healthy unconditional love. The unconditional love, you're setting loving boundaries and you're making a stand for yourself. And you're saying that I have to fill my cup up first before anybody can drink out of it, or my cup's going to go dry. I mean, if you don't like put deposits into the bank account, you're going to go overdraft. Make love deposits in yourself. Make love deposits with your partner. Make love deposits into your twin flame dynamic union so that you're also making love deposits for others and sharing that with others. And I have a couple of stories about that because I've had a lot of this stuff going on with this type of love this week. And I just want to see if, I think I covered them all. So let me see. We got Eros, the Phila, the Ludus, which is the childlike, the Agape, the Pragma, and the Felicia. So, okay. I think I did it. Okay. So, now I want to share with you because I've had some of this love happening over the last few days to week in my life. And I feel like the urge here to just share with you. So, first of all, and this has been, I have a person that does transcriptions for my videos that I'm using those to compile for the up and coming book, because some of this is some outline stuff that I'm using for one of my next 2 books. That's also Twin Flame Codebreaker, but they're volumes. This is going to be a 5-part series now. The book Twin Flame Codebreakers, and they each have their own title and a volume of it, of the whole thing. But anyway, so she was like getting me like some stuff back, and I just held off and didn't even bother. She's like, I had a death in the family. It's unexpected. And sorry, these are probably going to be late. And I was just, like, no problem, because I don't need them. I was in no hurry for them. So I had some more to send her, and I sent her a message, and I just said, condolences. Is this a good time? If it's not a good time, like, I can send these later. Or would you even prefer that I break them up and like do like one at a time instead of just flooding you with like all of this? And she was just like, just the fact that I cared just made her day. She'd been in counseling. She'd been doing some things, and she's going to hear this. I just realized I didn't realize she's going to hear this until just now. She'd been in some counseling, and, we exchanged some emails, and she could feel the love, and like the love was coming through, and we both were like just smiling, and we've never met each other, but we could feel it. That's what love is. Love's a feeling. We're to share the feeling of love and to share that with others. And it just really, she said, coming from somebody of my caliber, I think is the word she used. I don't look at it as caliber. I'm just me. I'm just the vessel here. But she said it meant so much to her to have somebody that cared, because I'm sure with some of the things she does, she has to deal with a lot of, customer service complaints or, different just life. That's just life. Now, I had a very interesting day yesterday. I went to get my teeth cleaned, and I had first of all, a patient from my chiropractic office that had canceled, rescheduled, opened up a block of time. So then I'm like, okay, well, I have time to go get a birthday card. I have time for someone. I have time to grab me a protein bar before I go get this. And it was just time. And so I go in, and immediately this lady from behind the counter in the makeup's like, oh my gosh, like your hair. And she had all these questions, and she wanted to know what I used. And I was telling her, and we had this big old conversation, and she was the most loving person that I can't even begin to say here. Like, just so loving. And her giving, just, you could feel this connection. Well, she felt it for me, but I didn't really do anything. But she could see the light. She could feel the light. And we just we migrated there. So I was telling her, like, where to get the hair products, what they were. And I actually said, I'm on my way there today because I'm out and I have to go get some. So and then said our goodbyes, and I went to the dentist, and I ended up having some more extra time because the dentist got me in and out. So I went to the hair place and got my products, and I was in there, and I was just like, I have time. I'm getting her hair products for her. I'm taking them to her, and hopefully she's still there. Hopefully she didn't get off work. So I got the hair products. I took the hair products to her, and you would have thought that I gave her $1 million check. She cried. She told me she had no idea. I had no idea what I just did for her for that day. I didn't need to know. All I know is I did what I was told, and I showed up. And I do this a lot. So I'm also telling you this, and I think the story is coming out for you to also realize this, because this is love, friends. This is love. This is how you experience eternal love, is these thoughts of kindness and these acts of compassion. This is love. And we have to do this every day. Living in the vortex, this is what everyday vortex is, and glowing on fire. So I'm sharing with you above and beyond, like some of the mundane type things of all these fears we've had. And it goes on to how may I serve, which I'm going to share in a second. But anyway, so I went about my way. Ended up, she was working with somebody I actually knew, which was like, oh my gosh. So then that gave, like, she got my name and one of my numbers, like, oh my gosh, we have to do lunch or something. And like, I'm like, okay, and I said bye. And she sent me a message on Facebook last night. She connected with me since she had my name. And she then later I ran across by accident a post she had posted and said, wow, what a day. And this was her telling people, like, that she had gotten, like, attacked by a coworker based on something that she didn't even know exactly what for, and that she even apologized for it because she didn't realize that that person took it wrong, which that was the mere reflection that the person, most likely from the way she explained it, probably the mere reflection she was, and the person saw themselves, but then, didn't want to work on themselves. They wanted to blame her, and she even apologized for it. But she was like having like an hour or so of this brewing before I brought the products back. So I bring the products back, and now it's like she's going from being attacked to being blessed, all within this time frame. She went on to say in her post that this week her father had passed away a year ago this week. And she'd been having a really hard time this week because of the death of her dad. And wow. And then I came home and went to call somebody. I'm not even going to go into all the story, but I will say is I went to call my nephew to wish him happy birthday. Ended up on a whole nother, I don't even know how, phone call. Don't even know who. All I know is that they needed to hear me, and I listened, and we had a conversation, and I don't even know who this person was. It's how the divine works. Don't even know. I don't even know how we got connected. I didn't even ask, and I don't know who the person was, and I don't even know. The person sent me a text message saying good morning this morning, and I sent one back and said, good morning. I hope you have a great day, and much love and many blessings to you. So I don't even know what's happening on that person. I don't even think that it clicked while I was calling. They just needed to hear somebody. They thought I was somebody else. I thought they were somebody else. I didn't. It's just, OMG. Talk about divine love here. This is the universe way to connect. Now, the universe can have, if I can act out my intuition for my higher self, take hair product back to somebody that was in such need, and accidentally call somebody yesterday that just needed an ear, imagine what's going on with any amount of intention behind it. That we don't have to know why. We don't have to see what's behind it, but this is eternal love, friends. This is the eternal love that we need to tap into. So let's share and bring that into form a little bit with the goddesses and the God, and that we came here to be and to experience as the goddess and the God and the high priestess and the high priest. So with going into the Greek mythology part, I wanted to discuss the Aphrodite, goddess Aphrodite. And again, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but she's the goddess of love, beauty, pleasure, and procreation and creativity. And she is known for like the dove. She's known for the swans. She's known for I'm trying to feel, she brings so much into the aspect of love. But one of the biggest things she's known for is like the Apple Fest, the Golden Apple, and being, bringing the heroes together, and her and a couple other goddesses, the three of them had decided they were going to have a contest and who could have the best apple, and that meant who was the fairest of them all. And they got one of the gods and the son of one of the kings, I should say, to do the judging. And once it came back, Aphrodite, Aphrodite, I think it's really is. I'm saying Aphrodite. It's Aphrodite, I think. I don't know terminology as far as pronunciation, I should say. And I'm not going to be perfect about it, so I'm just saying what's coming out because I don't want to take the time to figure it out because there's no time for that. So here's another lesson in perfectionism, right? So anyway, so they had this contest of who was the fairest of them all, and it dealt with their apple orchard or their apple. Now, that brought to mind the famous quote from his name is, I got the quote here, it's Pete Kent's. And I want to share with you the quote because as the divine feminine, the goddesses, we are like the apples in the trees. And we have to stay in our vibration. So I'm going to share with you my version of this. And actually, I'm going to share with you the quote. And then I'm going to share with you behind it my how I would interpret this from the divine for you. So I'm going to call it the goddesses are like apples on a tree. The best ones are at the top of the tree. The boys, or I should say here, the divine masculine, doesn't want to reach for the good ones because they're afraid of falling and getting hurt. Instead, they just get the rotten apples from the ground that aren't as good. But they are easy. It's easier to do it because they don't have to spend the effort it takes to climb up the tree. So the apples at the top think something is wrong with them, when in reality, they're amazing. They just have to wait for the right boy or their divine partner to come along and to be brave enough to climb all the way up the top of the tree to get to the right apple. Now, folks, this is what the twin flame journey is about. It really is. We have to go up in the vibration, stay elevated at the apple at the top of the tree, and not dip down because that's what causes the push-pull. You got to remain the apple at the top of the tree. But what happens is, you think about those bitter apples on the bottom that have rotted. You think about the ones that are the lower, easier, and you're awaiting results in the orchard. And I want to share with you because I also drew cards today. I want to show you what came up. So, this is the apple in the heart, okay, that's spoiled and rotten, which has rotted the whole tree. So this is like the high priestess at the top. Well, before becoming high priestess, really, because at the high priestess, you stay elevated and you are ripe and you are the best apple at the top of the tree and you stay up there. But in here, you're up there and you don't realize it, and that's killing the entire tree. But the reason that's happening is because you're looking back. You're looking in the past, I should say, this way. So you're looking in the past, which is, and this card is backwards. So if I face me, it's pointing this way, which is to the left, which is past, okay? And looking in the past, awaiting results. Now, folks, we have to, first of all, determine that we are, and I want to say something. I'm talking about boys and girls here, but I do want to clarify it's divine feminine and divine masculine, so there is no sexual orientation here. But so it could go for either or, as long as you know you're looking at it from a standpoint of the divine feminine and the divine masculine. So the divine feminine has been, okay, looking back, awaiting results. That has caused the whole entire tree to basically spoil. And because of that, it's left it bare to where, the divine masculine Can't even pick any apples on that tree because there's none to pick because they've all fallen off and they've all rotted because of this one spoiled one. And they also say that the top of this is a spoiled one in the heart. It's in the heart. So we get this spoiled taste in our heart of this one bite of this rotten apple, and then we hang on to that as if it's like the whole entire tree is now like ruined. We have to change that perception. And that's what this Lionsgate is all about. This Lionsgate is we're looking forward now. We're going forward. We're becoming free to love. We are going to stay elevated. We're going to stay in our, this is why I call this the elevate your love vibration. We're going to be the orchard, and we're going to be the tree in the orchard that is full of apples, but those apples are not just now other like divine femmes or girls, so to speak. There are gifts. So they become the fruit of the spirit. See? So now when we look at it that way, it's not other girls or other things that are happening from the past. Now, like these apples, and we become a ripe, producing tree. Because our cup and our tree is overfilled with the self-love that we gave it, and we stay elevated, facing forward. And now guess what happens? In comes the divine masculine, looking and being willing to climb to the top of that tree because you're amazing. You are amazing. You just have to look in the mirror and see it and feel it and recognize it and know it because you are. You're amazing. And if you think you're not amazing, I encourage you to go out and make somebody smile and take somebody hair products and call somebody that's never heard from you in a while and put your energy into that and stop focusing on the bad stuff. Stop focusing on the past. Stop focusing on what you don't have. Get out of the self-desires and move into this agape love. Move into this selfless love. Move into the eternal love. And share love, show up as love, be love, and love life. So, while I'm talking about cards, I want to show you kind of where this kind of also went. No, I'm not going to show you yet because it links to some other pieces I have. I'll show you as I went, but I have 3 cards here. And they all ended up linking to pieces I had of this, which pulled it all together. And I was just like, huh, you can't make this stuff up. Okay. So we're talking about the goddess of love, okay? And I'm going to share with you a little bit of my story of the goddess of love and the god of love in a minute. But I want to finish it up with talking about the god of love from the Greek god of love, the Eros. And now this is about, now I'm laughing, I can't even say it. Aphrodite's son, okay? And he is the Cupid. He's where Cupid came from. He's associated with the hair, and in like in the Greek symbol, he represents in Cupid like that bow and arrow. And he carries, you know, there's a story about him that talks about how he carried 12 arrows on his back, and how it became, they were engraved with gold letters, and they would have sentences and verses for each. And that in doing so, that that was called like the love bolts that he would like, you know, get on his target, and he would release, and it was like a love bolt. So we need these love bolts that we're creating. And I was shown to share with you and kind of some stuff I've been doing already and how it fit into this 12 arrows of light. And that this is us living in the light of love to be able to do this. Okay? So with the 12 arrows of light and living in the light of love, the first one is to be free to love. And to be free to love, we have to release our past. And the second one is to say yes, but not say yes to just say yes to love, but to say yes to bold love, and to be able to claim that love, and to claim it in our heart, and to know it and to feel it. And the third one is to be open to receive love, and not to keep score with things, and to keep all doors open, and to know that no matter how much we give, We don't have to keep score because the universe does that for us. And then that's how we come the fourth one, which is to be love. And that is us learning how to create self-love within ourselves and learn to set the loving boundaries. And then in the fifth one, we can show up as love. And then therefore we are bringing into form the anatomy of God, which is an expression of source love. And then our sixth arrow of light is to share that love. And sharing the love is really by having become the light worker and working your light and being the lighthouse for your divine partner to find their way home. And then the seventh one is to love life, meaning you experience like the light in motion. That light has come into form, and now you're loving your life, and it's in your reality. And so now you're experiencing living the light. And that means you're loving life. Okay? So, and the eighth arrow of light is to love your purpose. Now, when you can love your purpose, that is the light in motion, because you're light, like you're being light, and it's putting the light in motion, and you've got the passion linked with the purpose. That then it creates the ninth one of loving your livelihood, which is then I am light in motion, meaning I am light. And we've talked about this in some of the other videos of the I am light, I am love, and I am one. And that being the 3 degrees of separation of what was coming into the alignment and bringing it into form from the 5D to the 3D to bring in your beloved. So if you haven't saw some of those videos, go back into the 3 degrees of separation. That is like one of the videos that I talked about that. So then when we do that, that's what I'm saying now, we can know in 10 that we're experiencing the eternal love, and that because I am love, and therefore I am the love, and then I am with my beloved. Because if I can be love, that is beloved. It brings you love. And then the 11th arrow of light would be to love all that you do. Like love everything. That's in the vortex. That's going to take hair products. That's going to call somebody out of nowhere. You don't even know how you ended up calling them, and having a conversation and a text message today because they needed love. They needed love. And that's where you share. I share the light. That is sharing the light. I share the light. And then the 12th arrow of light would be loving by the light. Loving by the light. Now, I was shown this through my downloads, and I'll share what that means about loving by the light, because I have a whole program kind of that's coming out of it that I can't even begin to tell you how beautiful it's going to be, and there's a card about it, so I'll just share more detail on that. But what it really means is I am light, I am love, I am one, I am the one, but I'm doing it by the light of the universe, meaning I'm doing it in alignment with the cosmos. I'm doing it by the light. And when I say that, it's really doing it by the moon cycles. So like working our light through the full moons of the setting, like releasing the things that don't serve as purpose, and coming into the new moon and setting intentions from a higher place of being in a higher state of love. So that is the 12 arrows of living in the light of love. And, which by the way, I did pull the card, the moon cycles. So I want to share with you that. And that is Archangel Haniel. That deals with the emotional aspect, because the moon is also emotions. Love is the highest vibrational, like unconditional love is one of the highest vibrational emotions that we can feel and experience. Joy being the highest, which means eternal love is about not just going from unconditional love to eternal love, is going from like unconditional or like happiness to joy. So happiness is a great thing, but joy is ultimate. Unconditional love is a great thing, but eternal love is the ultimate blissful aspect of our relationship. Okay. So, and when I say experiences, I kind of said that, but I mean, as far as what have been shown about the goddess and the god, or the the high priest and the high priestess. So first of all, as I was making these shifts, so I need to give you a little background for this to make sense. As I was making shifts in my letting go and surrendering, I should say, facing my fears, moving into the alignment of the vortex and getting in alignment with source, I used to relate this as how I felt inside as being a wild Mustang that was about to be saddled for the first time. And I said, it's going to be an exciting ride because I'm like, I just don't want to let go. I don't want to surrender. And as much as in my head even wanted to, I could feel this resistance inside of me. As time kind of moved forward and I started learning, I knew that I had to, okay? Let's just put it this way too. I knew I had to. I knew it was coming. I didn't know how I was going to get from where I was to where I was going to be, but I knew it was going to be the process of a wild Mustang becoming a tamed horse. Now, I knew that, okay? And I started getting more and more tame. And I had the idea, and this came back through because I've always, as a lot of us are, I have always been shown what stage, my twin flame dynamics in and my twin flame and true twin flame, I should say, is coming into along the journey. I'm always kept and enlightened with that. And I always know and always shown. It's not that I even have to look for it. I don't even look for it because I stay really centered on me. But when it's time for me to participate, or it's time for me to pay attention, or it's time for me to know, you have to realize I create a blueprint out of this. So that the dynamic, and you will understand this by reading, if you have not read Twin Flame Codebreaker, Guided to Read, I really recommend it. There will be a link at the bottom that you can, get plugged into that because it talks so much more than I can talk about how I'm connected to the heart chakra of the nation and why, and how it bridges the Atlantean energy and as well as the Lemurian energy, and how it's coming, new books are coming, and how this bridge between that divine masculine and the divine feminine sides of the Atlantis, with the divine masculine and the feminine side being the Lemurian side, and the bridge of that, and how it's kind of centered here, and all of those things. But the point of that is that I'm being shown without conscious effort all this journey, even more, and continuing always, so that I also know how to teach people. So there's still a participation energetically from the higher self that's like showing up to show me things. And so I was shown at the time he was at this wild horse phase, and I started seeing wild horses at that time. And so I also was shown in relation to that we had to become, to tame our beloved, we have to become a horse whisperer, because horses are very energetically driven. They're very concentrated and focused on, they can read. Horses know things, they don't want anybody behind them or they'll kick you, or you can walk in and be all like, upset, and they read the emotion, and, they're going to go into like all kinds of like wild motions and movements and pick it up, and, and they'll stay calm if somebody's calm, and this is the template of our twin flame dynamic. So I literally studied this horse whisperer stuff, which made sense to me because of being in the 20 years of energy healer and studying quantum physics. I got the physics of a horse tamer. And so I studied that. And I was then shown that in this process, that's how I came up with the unicorn. So that what's happening from the divine masculine is shifting from the wild Mustang into, which I'm calling the Mustang God, into the unicorn, okay, and the tamed unicorn. And so in that process, there was things that were happening that I was shown, and I'm going to share with you just a couple really neat things about that because it's so powerful. I just feel like it's part of this and it's part of the unconditional love. I won't spend as much time on this part, but what I will say is I was also shown about the goddess side of it through myself, and things were showing up for me, and I knew when I shifted into the goddess, and I named that, which is the becoming in my next book. Uh, One of them, I don't know which. There's two coming out at the same time, but it's going to be talking about the mushroom goddess and the Mustang god. And this is the high priestess and the high priest, and there'll be a lot more story in that. But I want to share with you when this was happening, I went to a crystal fest, and I don't know if you can see this. It's not going to give it justice, but it's this beautiful, beautiful spectral light. There we go. Now I can oh yeah, you can see it now. So you see the spectral light in that? I was told by a gemologist that the rainbow labradorite is a twin flame stone because of the way the grains run. And after he told me that, and I bought 2 rainbow labradorites, I went to another vendor, and she was a custom designer for jewelry, and she's making me a Mustang god, and she's allowed me to write about this and put this in the book. It's a section, or it may even be a chapter, I don't know, but I am bringing this to form, and it has to do with the mushrooms, has to do with bringing they come from the stars, supposedly from the history of time, and to bringing in the enlightenment of the unity between, there was different types of mushrooms that there was a war kind of over mushrooms and what to call them, the reds and the browns, and then the mushroom goddess came in and created unity. Well, that's like what I do. And so I told her, I said, I'm bringing this mushroom goddess to life, and I'm also bringing to life the Mustang god, and I need you to make me a Mustang god. And so she's making me a Mustang god. I don't know what it's going to be like yet, but it's custom made. I'll share that whenever I have it. I'm so excited about that. So anyway, the part I wanted to share with you about the Mustang god and how that Mustang god became the unicorn was a couple things. As I had then a couple clients, but one specific client that her twin's higher self was showing me all the Mustangs and the horses were coming back through, okay? Now, at the time this was happening was at the same time the divine masculine was coming in like the herds, okay? And I was watching this happen as I was, where everybody's saying, the divine masculine's coming, the divine masculine's coming. Well, I saw this probably about a month or 6-8 weeks prior to the big thing that you're kind of seeing a lot of people are talking about now, which I haven't followed every race, so I'm sure it's been out there too, even before that. But I know now it's like we know it's coming, and a lot of everywhere you talk, look, see, it's divine masculine's coming. It's already here, is what it is. So anyway, so the higher self of her twin was showing me these Mustangs, and I started seeing them again, and I knew they were coming, and not were they just normal Mustangs, they were white now, okay? This is how the unicorns start coming into this even more again, because the white meant purity, okay? And so as this was happening, I had a series of events that happened that made me know exactly where my twin flame dynamic was going, and all of the forefront of this and what's happening. And I'm not going to share all the details here. Most of it, a lot of it in the book, but through this series, I am going to share a little bit, because this is the heart chakra of the time frame that we're opening here. I'm in the heart chakra of the nation. My union represents the heart chakra. And I want you to understand the connection I have to this love language here. And because this is my mission, people. This is what I'm here to do, is help change the love vibration of the planet. And that's what my goal is on all levels, not just union of twins, but which is the ultimate goal, but of a personal standpoint, and whether we're twin or not, to experience love for life and love for ourselves and change the love vibration of the planet. And that's what it's all about. And that's what this Lionsgate is about. So anyway, I ended up, had all these, like, I was almost like it was spiritually hijacked. Things were just happening. It was a 3-week period of just bam, 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 like all day, every day. But one of the couple things I want to tell you that was so important out of that was I I, out of nowhere, started talking about unicorns. And when I did, I sent out, don't ask me why I did this. I sent random texts and messages to people that said this, what I'm going to read to you. And then, well, first off, I said to them, because they started really seeing this shift in this divine masculine, and to know that if we have to believe in them, we have to believe in unicorns, and that we have to tame this wild Mustang, this Mustang god, into the unicorn. So I knew this, okay, prior. And so then I sent out messages that said, do you believe in unicorns? And people would say yes, or yes and why, or whatever. And I didn't even know why I did it. But so my response to the why was this. I was in Unicorn Land today. It was like being in a cartoon where there were lush gardens, beautiful flowers, lakes, and rainbows, dancing mushrooms, and Easter eggs. I entered a state of euphoria and danced through the forest, eating bum berries dipped in chocolate, and went through a waterfall of sprinkles. Ended the ride crowned with my horn and celebrated with a glitter bath. Then I spread my wings and I flew home with tingles running through my hoofs. Now, that just like flowed out, like I didn't even think twice about that message, okay? Along the way then, the unicorn thing's coming through. Meaning like what I could see was the Mustang god is coming to silence. The Mustang god is shifting. And I was bringing that Mustang god into form by, getting a Mustang god into this. And all I kept hearing was, got to bring them into form. Okay. Well, I was in my office one day and my lunch literally disappeared out of my purse. Like totally, like I took everything out. It was gone. It wasn't in my office. I don't know where it went. It showed up later in my purse again. Okay. But it forced me to have to stop. And then it forced me to have to stop at a very specific place. And there was 10 things that happened even on the way there. But when I was checking out, look what showed up. Well, first of all, it's the unicorn. I want you to see at the very top. I don't know if it'll get clear enough, but right up there we go. 1. Okay. That's with the return to oneness that I started coming up with. That the divine masculine is returning to oneness and becoming unstoppable. Okay? I was being shown the divine masculine was becoming one and was purifying. Okay? So then I woke up, and I'm going to share with you, I woke up to somewhere along this journey, a vision in the middle of the night, and well, it was 4 a.m. So in this downloads I was having for 3 weeks time frame, I'd wake up at 6 a.m. for 1 week, 5 a.m. for the second week, and 4 a.m. for the third week. And this was like an all-day thing happening of starting from the downloads, and it was going all day long for 3 weeks. This is where the 2 books came through in 3 weeks. So I had the thought, because I had a client that had painted a majestic swan for me that you've probably heard me talk about, and it's in Twin Flame Codebreaker. I'm actually going to bring that up again as well in another one of these videos. But I had the thought, I want her to paint me a Mustang god. That's going to get it into form again. Like, I want this too. I want her to paint the vision I had. Okay? Now, the Mustang god is the unicorn. But I had a vision. And I'm going to share with you what the vision looked. I'm just going to share you the message I sent her. So I sent her and asked her, well, first of all, the funny thing was, it was 4 a.m. and she saw me online. And I went to pick up to message her, and I got sidetracked. While I got sidetracked, she messaged me and said, what are you doing up? Because she knew my time difference from hers. So then I said, huh, funny you say. I was just going to ask you to do this, and that means now this is really confirming you're supposed to. So I said, I need you to make me a Mustang god. And so I shared with her what that meant. A once wild creature that was tamed into a soft and gentle unicorn, because the goddess believed in him. I have seen images of the wild horse Mustangs that represent him in the lower self, and he has now been tamed. And I keep seeing the images of the unicorns, and they are both white for white and purity. The whole reason I even woke up this morning as I did is because I saw the image. I had the most beautiful vision of the prettiest unicorn I have ever seen. It was in color, and it was all of a sudden, it lit up on the top with the 5 higher chakras of the higher self, of the implementing the 12 chakra system, the 7 lower, the higher 5, that was activated. And as it did so, I saw iridescent Merkaba all around it. And he was standing on 2 legs with the other 2 up in the air. And then all of a sudden, a huge burst of glitter sparkled out like fireworks going off all around him. And I realized it was time to get up and start writing. And when I did, before I started writing, I drew 2 cards, which was assertiveness and confidence. That meant that the unicorn, the Mustang God, had now let go of the lower self, had shifted into the higher self, and now was having assertiveness and confidence and speaking truth. And that those were the qualities of the Mustang God and this unicorn. These fireworks looked like the iridescent hint of silver, but it all looked like a glitter poof, and then sparkles just came all around. And so she was like, whoa, how beautiful, is that? And so she says, yes, I'll paint that for you. And so now I have that image being painted for me. And what I want to sum up for you is a couple pieces here that I later, in all of this, kind of a grand finale, went to visit some family. There's a whole bunch more to it to be in the book. But I show up and I have my 5-year-old turning 6-year-old crystal child, great niece, that was in rainbow colors, had all kinds of gifts for me, but it was really for her birthday party. But it was like a celebration for me. And like all these things were childlike. It was all this love coming through. It was so blissful. I didn't even feel like I was walking on earth, honestly. We get into, she's like, come here, you have to see my bedroom. On the way to the bedroom, there was this whole party going on down through it. Streamers and glitter and silver and balloons and puff balls. And like we get through the trail and we get into the bedroom. And as soon as I did, there was this little jewelry box that said love on it. And on top of it sat the Mustang God that she had painted. And my mouth flew open. And I said, oh my gosh. Because I realized he had came into form. Like this was the form. I wanted the the Mustang God to be done into a necklace. That was going to take time. It's going to take time to get it painted. And this is within 2 days of all of this happening. Poof, I walk in and the 6-year-old child's presenting me with her horse she had painted. That was white painted, the chakras. And she says to me, as soon as my mouth was picking it up off the floor, she's like, you can have them. I fell to the floor. My head went in my hands. And I started crying. Now you have to know this. Never been a crier. My family's never saw me cry. My mother at this point standing in the doorway, looking at me, having nobody has no idea what's going on with me or what just happened to me. And they still don't, but they just know at this point things are like, they know enough to know whatever. But I look up when I could finally speak. I look up at my 6-year-old great niece and I said, what's his name? And she said, Glitter Poof. And I was just like, oh my gosh. The divine masculine, folks, has came home. Okay? It's time to shape up and get in love with yourself, because that divine masculine is waiting on you to get over that rainbow bridge, to get in connection, to get in alignment. and that the ship has sailed. It's arrived home. Be be that lighthouse that is bringing them in, as what you have really been doing, but now to realize it and to realize that it's not a spoiled apple and the whole tree is not rotten, and that the Mustang God is home, is inside. But we're bringing this from the 5D into the 3D, and that is why I've been shown then to share a couple things. And I want to say, first of all, and I'm going to sum this up in a second because there was an assignment that I wanted to share with you, and I know this has turned out to be probably way longer than I thought, but I try to get my head out of this. I know these are long sometimes, but I just know I'm here to do what's coming through, so just embrace it. Focus on service. That's what I've been telling you guys, that our only purpose is to focus on service, right? And that if coming through that 5-part series of return to oneness, of getting in alignment with your beloved, it's also part of the focus on service, which is giving away hair products and calling people that need your service, and doing the agape love here, and doing these 6 types of Greek love that I mentioned, that I won't even repeat them because I can't say them anyway exactly right, because that's okay. It's perfect because you know what I'm talking about. And it doesn't matter that I can't pronounce them because it's all perfect the way it is. And I'm not going to work to get it perfect. Otherwise, I'd be missing the message. And then we'd be on past this Lion's Gate and you wouldn't even know what you're supposed to do if I was still trying to figure it out. Okay? You're to focus on service, but focusing on service, people, look what it does. The divine masculine is carrying and taking home the divine feminine in oneness. In oneness. Now, I pulled this card today. I have pulled this card whenever this happened. I found today where I had pulled this card when the stuff was happening with the what I was bringing to the table to share with you. And I was pulling up the Mushroom Goddess and the divine masculine Mustang God. And I was like, what have I been saying? Focus on service. But not just service, but doing like the love. That is love, folks. This is eternal love. Focusing on service is love. And it's going to bring you home. Take you home to the love that you want to experience on all levels. And so I want to invite you to, I'm going to share with you, and I'm just kind of being heard right now. There's another assignment that I'm going to share in part 2, actually, which I'll get part 2 out in the next couple days. We're going to share that in part 2. So be sure to come back, because there's a exercise I'm going to share with you on what's coming. What I will say is this. So I'm getting together the Activate Your Light for August 8th at 8 p.m. If you have not got plugged into that, the links will be below. I highly recommend it. I'm seeing what's coming in for it. I'm downloading the 33-day Free to Love challenge. That is your activation of bringing the light into form and loving by the light, and doing it by the moon cycles, and doing it by this energy of bringing it into form. And I'm going to share with you one of those action steps you would do for a day that's being presented in the 33-day plan. I will do that in the next video that will be done sometime Monday or Sunday or Monday, I'm going to say. Maybe sooner if I can do it. I don't know, just when it works out. But I will get that out before the August 8th, and it will give you an example of this. But if you've not got plugged into that, that's what that's all about. And then there's more to come with me teaching on this loving by the light, and being able to raise and elevate your love vibration, because this is how we're going to bring it into form. And it really is already there. And so it's just a matter of us anchoring it and finishing and wrapping up the contract that the universe has for us. And that's us getting together collectively and anchoring this energy, getting it anchored into earth, and then claiming our prize. Okay? That's where we're at. So make sure to, again, if you've not got plugged into some of the resources with the 11 key codes, be sure to get plugged into that. the book link will be below. Any of my services are below. And right now, the one thing I will just say again is coming through is August 8th at 8 p.m. You want to be in alignment with that diamond light activation that's going to be bringing in the diamond light of the rainbow color of God and doing an activation that it comes with this 33-day free to love challenge that you'll be getting in that program. And it is an investment of $44. There was, I will tell you, a couple different links that were old links that really didn't have it all set up, that a couple of people had went through. So the one that you connect to is below, or if you got plugged into an old one, I'll message you and let you know which is the right one. So, but it's well worth it. And just much love to you. That's all. There's some of this, like, I have no words for as far as the depths of this kind of eternal love and the love I feel in that. And I want to share with you with that. And I just happened to notice my shirt as I saw that. So follow your heart wherever it takes you. That is love. That's eternal love. So may you always face fears, find freedom, and glow forward on fire. Be sure to like the shine, subscribe, share the shine, like, subscribe. Much love to you, many blessings. Namaste.